We're getting closer to playing a full game. We're getting closer. Good thing about that is we hadn't peaked yet. And if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of how you want it. You want to play your best ball as you start rolling into the end of October and November. And I thought we played the closest thing we have to a complete game.
Oh, yeah, it looked good. I was out there on the flats on Saturday. Georgia Tech keeps rolling, baby. 8-0 on the year, 5-0 in the ACC for the first time ever, and the Haynes King for Heisman crowd continues to get louder. John and Jarvis still with me in the building as we can truly give Tech their flowers in this block. No Georgia to really talk about. We'll touch on it, but we got to talk about the Jackets, man. A massive performance on homecoming, a big win over Syracuse. And it was a win that it was tight early, 3-3 after the first quarter, but they ended up dominating the rest of the way. What kind of performance or what kind of statement does that performance make here at home? It's
great to see. You treated a Scribini like a Scribini. Now, Syracuse would have been good if Steve Angeli wasn't hurt. He got hurt a couple of weeks ago. Their backup quarterback, Ricky Collins, not very good.
He's not good.
Tech came out and dominated from the word go, and this is what Brent Key had talked about with some of the slow starts they had throughout the year, was coming out and taking advantage right from the get-go, and they did so. And I'm going to tell you, they need all of these. They're going to need style points as the weeks go along. You already see the Associated Press drop them behind Ole Miss because Ole Miss won on the road. You probably got to be 11-0 getting to Georgia if you want to make the college football playoff. But 11-0 is going to get you in an ACC title game. Tech will be favored against everybody the rest of the year. The Pitt game will be the toughest one left on the docket.
And that one's actually at home, which at least gives them a little bit of extra love. The other thing that gives them a whole lot of help is the fact they've got Haynes King. 395 total yards of offense, 5 scores for Haynes King. He had the highest single game completion percentage in a game in Tech history. Is it finally time we say that he should be headed out to New York as a Heisman Trophy finalist?
When you're talking about, for me, the Heisman means the most valuable player, right? The reason why you win football games. And to me, Haynes King is the definition of that, because when you talk about needing a play when they're down, when things don't look quite right, even in this game when Syracuse tried to get a little bit of momentum, Haynes King was right there with the little lollipop pass to Isaiah Canyon, or just making the necessary throws, or on those little quarterback counter plays and getting 10 yards, getting the first down, keeping the chains moving. He's just the all-around guy for this team. And if Haynes King isn't on his team, this team is nowhere near being undefeated. So, yeah, that is the prime definition of a Heisman candidate to me.
I worry that because he hasn't played in because it feels like a lot of times it's kind of narrative-based, right? Where they're playing against bigger teams. He doesn't have a lot of, cachet on the schedule, except if they can get that win over Georgia at the end of the year, it really feels like it sets up for an opportunity to be able to get that Heisman Trophy.
How about that could be a game for the winner of that, one of the two quarters, because I'm going to throw Gunnar Stockton in there as well. The winner of that game might absolutely go to New York City with Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana. And I think it's great for Haynes, Jarvis, to your point. He is the do-it-all guy for Georgia Tech, but it's also a year where the Heisman frontrunners are kind of nondescript. Talk about a quarterback from Indiana, Ty Simpson, who's been really good for Bama, but nobody has really taken control of this thing. Haynes is the most important player to his team in the entire country.
And it feels like it changes almost every week. Dante Moore a couple of weeks ago was the guy. They end up losing. I mean, it feels like at a certain point might get Trinidad Chambliss in there if they continue to hoop, but we'll see. One other person that gets getting talked about a lot, especially because it feels like a lot of jobs are kind of opening. The UCLA, Penn State, Florida jobs might open, maybe. Well, I guess also LSU.
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, how about that? Brent Key is a huge Tech man. He, of course, loves this school. He played for this school. But if you offer him a whole bunch of money, should people be worried that Brent Key might get the call to go to one of these big dogs?
I will tell you, I got yelled at by Tech fans. Can you guys be positive? And I said, I'm just reporting that people are going to be interested. They see what Coach Key has done. I'd like to be his agent right now because I got a feeling Coach Key is going to get a raise. It's going to take a lot to pry him away from a school that he loves. But I'll tell you, Ted DiBiase once famously said, every man has their price.
Look, if
when you can tie in wrestling to anything, it's a good day.
That's a good day. Jarvis, does he go or does he stay?
I think he stays, but the guy you should be really worried about, how about that dude with that nice, lovely offense, Buster Faulkner?
Ooh, yeah, okay.
He was at Georgia, so he understands what it takes to be at a big-time school on that championship staff. You talk about calling plays and being able to window dressing and being able to put points on the board and make Heisman candidates out of guys that got kicked out of schools or they got thrown away. Yeah, I think Buster Faulkner is the guy that I'd be concerned about.